Bada bing, bada boom. We're back.
Welcome to the Public Speaking Podcast. Another great episode. I'm your host, Lucas, amateur speaker, and with me I have my esteemed colleague, my favorite coach in the world, Mr. Alexander Grabniala.
Whoa! My name is Alexander Grabner-Jarling. I work as a communication coach here at Headgain, making sure that your skills are on the A game of every single presentation that you have in the future. Now, I don't know why I did that. It just was. It sounded like I was in that moment, Lucas. I have no idea where that came from.
I will keep hyping up your energy, and I'll see what comes out.
Yeah. Today, ladies and gentlemen, people around the beautiful globe listening into this podcast, we are having a special one, and that is that we're going into the SPEAKERx editions. Yes, today we have another astonishing, amazing, great speaker that were in the program that went through the SPEAKERx, and we're going to here to figure out who that person is. And did I steal your line, Lucas? I did steal your line. You didn't.
I'm
that's
very
great.
happy with this.
You're very happy with that. I'm as well. So I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna take away the amazement of who he is, but this is who I see him as. The first time when he was approaching with what he does for a living, I was like, oh, fascinating. But then he really started to explain what is it literally that he helps companies, organizations with, or just and my mind was just expanding and expanding and expanding when I realized that this is it feels like he was one of the founding members. And you go, founding members what? Now, I'm not going to say AI in general, but I'm going to say the knowledge that this person has about this. That was what blew my mind. And then it also turns out that him and we have one movie that we like a little bit more than other movies. And it was back in the 2000s when Keanu Reeves looked amazing. And when he was like the coolest kid on the block together with a person, which I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, we'll come to that later on down the road. But anyway, I'm talking about The Matrix, guys. I'm talking about The Matrix. With that said, I'm not going to steal your sunshine, but I want to welcome into the podcast studio no other than André Rossbach, or as I say, Mr. Rossbach. Welcome, André. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So we're going to simplify this thing because people are wondering, who are you and what do you do?
Yes, my name is André Rossbach, and I'm a safety engineer and safety consultant. And I mainly work in the automotive industry, but also in other industries where products are created like cars. The famous things are self-driving cars nowadays that drive around completely independent and without the need of a driver. But all cars in general, they have to be safe. So even if you have very simple functions like a window lifter or something else like this, all the electronics there, the software, the hardware has to be developed really in a way that nothing unintended could be happen. And this is my main thing, safety in products. And yeah, safety is, to say it, is the absence of unreasonable risk, so that nothing goes wrong. And mainly I help developers, software developers, and also hardware developers as a consultant, and also in engineering to make their products safe. Yeah. And the nice thing, also what Alexander already said, is the topic of AI. So this is also my passion to develop this new technology and also now to combine both worlds, so safety and AI, to make this really one product that could not harm people. I would say this in this way.
Quite important thing, though. Really quite important. Like
quite
life,
important.
Yeah, life existing importance to it. Bringing those two together. Lucas, what's on your mind? I can see that
Well, I'm so curious. Coming from AI and safety, engineering, cars, what made you interested in speaking? How did you come into that?
Yeah, I think in my daily work I need presentations. So When I have contact with customers, very often I prepare a PowerPoint deck, and then we go through this. And this was, my first thing where I like to improve myself. So over years, in the last years, I tried to make presentations look nicer, that they could be really good understood. And this was my first step then. Last year, exactly 1 year before, in March 2025, I started, I saw David J.P. Phillips somewhere on YouTube, and I think this was the starting point. And from this, I went to Presenter Mastery complete last year, and I learned so much more. So that it's not just the presentation. So really to use everything. So from the preparation, the content, also delivery, how you show it to people and so on. And all the nice things like spices. And that's great. And this is where I really thought about more to be on a stage and to do more than PowerPoint, really presenting and giving a conversation, also a story.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
I love that. It's just super curious. I just have one more question. Like, we have a battery of questions that I want to go through, but I'm just so curious too. You say you discovered David and you wanted to change something with your presentations, but what was it that made you want to make that change? Not just making the PowerPoints look better, but was there a specific thing for you that made presentations, you said, I really need to make this better?
Yeah. It was also confidence. So when I presented on a conference or in some situation, it was really that I focused just on the slides. I prepared them the night before, and then I just read what was there on the slides. And I was not happy with this, and this was frustrating for me. And also I had not the confidence to speak freely and work with this and change a little bit. So don't just look at the slides and storytelling. All of this I have never used really. So, and also then what I saw there, when you have the slides, then you show them, then you stick to them, and that's also another thing. You are not flexible, and this is what this was important for me to change this somehow. That I really are confident during the talk or presentation, and also that I had during the preparation. I see, okay, that's a story where I really can connect to the audience, and this was nothing up to this point for me. So I have not used this.
Wow. So going from that to coming into SPEAKERx and having your signature talk, which we're about to talk about, is a quite astonishing journey.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to really congratulate you to moving from that stage and not being confident to everything that I've seen you do. That is two different people. Well done.
And also,
I just want to say that.
And also at the same time creating amazingly beautifully mesmerizing PowerPoint slides. I mean, André, you got to impress me. I love PowerPoint, and you remember I told you that the transition you did between them. It was like eating this beautiful sweet cake of just with a little nice cup of coffee and drink. Yeah, it was feng shui. I loved it. So bringing both these together, very well done. Where you come from. Yep.
Thank you.
Good. What's the question, Lucas, that you have that I know that is going to be?
I would love to dive in to, André, your signature talk, what you created and why that is super valuable and important to the industry that you're working in currently. So please share your signature talk.
Yeah. So the main thing what I felt in the last years is really this difference between safety, what is one thing, and the engineering. So these two parts, this is normally already without AI. So you have engineering, like, as I said, software development, hardware development, product development, and safety. And very often do you have different teams. So really the developers, the engineers that create the things, and safety teams that look at the process, at documents, and on the safety measures, safety analysis, and so on. So, and this is very established in the industry. There are standards for this, ISO standards very often, and this is well done. This is what I did years before. But some years after this, AI came up, and also that AI now comes into products. So, as I said before, until now we have cars where a driver drives, and now the driver is replaced by a neural network, for example, this AI. And during the last years, I participated also in standardization of such things. But there's really this different communities. So the AI world that is so fast. So you could not follow any paper or new algorithm that it's out now. That's absolutely amazing. So this is so fast. And on the other hand, you have safety that it's, I would not say slow, but you have to do something. It's not, it's a systematic way how you develop things. And you could not decide from today and to tomorrow. It completely changed. This is not possible somehow in this world. And these two communities, to connect them, and I see this also in my work. So this is really a gap. And that's the reason why I called it the AI safety gap. And to bring both worlds together, to make them understand each other, speak the same language, and also understand what the other side does and why it's important. Because I'm absolutely convinced, and you could not have a safe product when these two worlds, communities and developers and concepts don't work together. It's not possible. And the important part also is, very often you could not develop an AI system and then later add safety to this. This is also not possible. And this was my intention to make there a talk. And the challenge for me was also really to address these two groups. So I have two audiences. And this is what I think it was over a year before I first tried to make a presentation to talk to both audiences. And it was difficult for me really to find a way really that I can give both of them a little bit in this talk, that they really have an value out of this. And this was then what I tried to address in my signature talk. And also to bring there something in, to give it, to explain it, that the other party could understand it, but also to give them a little bit, what they can do, and show also the connections between these two worlds. Yeah, that's was the intention.
It's wow. It's hard enough to speak with one audience, but when you have a cross audience that are in two different areas that are not really, maybe not interested in each other, but because they want to figure out their own little silo, and then bring in, that I can imagine that it must have been a very adventurous journey of going from idea to creation to getting it out there. Wow, that is yeah. I have a question regarding the working with this. If you can just what would be the tip, the top tip of everything that you concluded in your signature talk, from what would that be to somebody who like me, have no idea. I'm not coming from safety. I'm not coming from AI perspective. What would be your call to me, saying just you need to? Probably it's going to be watch the talk. That would be the most common things. Just watch the talk. It's 10 minutes. You will figure everything out. But do you have anything like that just to spark more interest in this debate?
Yeah, sure. So AI today, it's easy for everyone to start with this. I think most people just think about ChatGPT. Yeah, you can put there something in, but this is just a language model. So it is LLMs. And what I talk about is really are the neural networks, the AI in products. And this is a little bit different. So the normal user will not get in touch with this. But what I showed in my signature talk was this MNIST, M-N-I-S-T. So this example with this handwritten digits. And this is a very simple thing. You can go to Google to find a so-called Jupyter notebook. And there you can program with really some lines of Python code, you can train your own neural network. So it means you have there a data set with images, with numbers on this, and then you can train it. And then you really understand a little bit better how this works. What is training? What are labels, for example? What is a neural network? This is really absolutely simple. And I think most people that have a little bit of technical understanding and can work in a browser in such an development environment, it's also simple. You can have your first neural network there. And I think that's important. And mainly also for safety people. So I see also in my daily practice, there are safety engineers or safety managers. They have to deal with AI in the product, but they have never trained a neural network. This is just theoretical knowledge. And this is what I really criticize. So you should know at least the basic things. What is training, labeling, all these iterations, and this is my passion to bring this to them. And also the other side is from the AI people. Very often they have not really an understanding what safety is. So there's just a term. Very often some think that they believe it's just documentation, but safety is really technical. So you have to understand how it works. And then you can think about, what can I do? Where can I place a mechanism in, or what measure can I do? But you have to understand it. And that's important for both parts to really understand each other and go a little bit in the other direction and try it out.
Wow. I think you answered the question I had, is like, why is it important for the industry to listen to it right now? But you answered the question. It's time. You just go and watch the talk. That is get inspiration.
I love that you were able to fit neural network and simple in the same sentence.
It's amazing. Yeah, this is very good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's really a point. So it is simple to create a neural network. You can go to GitHub or somewhere else. You can download the code, even if you don't understand this. So, but you can use it as a developer. You collect your own data. I don't know what. You can do anything with this. But of course, then when you have trained this neural network and you can use it, and then the challenge is really to make it safe. This is really complicated and this is not simple. But to create a neural network, to create a prototype with AI, that's simple today.
Yep. Wow.
Nice.
Thank you. It is a very, I think we said this from the beginning, it's a very tough topic, but once you learn how to pronounce it the easy way, it becomes understandable. And I think this is something that more and more people are understanding and need to understand. And bridging that gap is super important. So thank you for doing that, André. All right. Super curious to doing this process over 6 weeks. You had to go from idea to a structured and finished talk, right? So what was the hardest part for you when cutting down this work into 10 minutes?
The 10 minutes.
Here, hold my beer. This is like it's 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. So I was not ready for this, honestly, and it was not just this six weeks. So I also thought about this talk weeks before. But when we really started with the first week, I had a huge whiteboard where I put all my ideas there and collected a lot of ideas, links, and so on, what I would like to bring into this talk. And this was the challenge, really, to see each week when I started to cut out this is excluded. And it was frustrating for me because I had so many slides somehow in my head or things that I would like to visualize. And at the end, I think my presentation from all of them, I had the most slides or the most visual things in, I'm not sure, was it 10 images maybe? In 10 minutes, this is already a lot. I don't show them too long, but I had much more things in the first weeks. And also then to create a story out of this. This was really to have include, as I said, the AI people and the safety people, and then really make a story that is connected. And yes, as I said, the greatest challenge were this 10 minutes, because you have to use also the delivery aspect. So sometimes to slow down, make a pause, and all of this costs time. In 10 minutes, you don't have this, and then you could not show everything, and to find the right things, the right words. This was.
But you did it. You did it.
Yes.
You managed.
And
you got it.
I mean, yes, you might have had the most slides, but you also had the most technical subject to talk about, and needing to visualize and show certain aspects to make it understandable.
Yeah.
So, what are you most proud of out of yourself for that process?
That I did it. So really, that's the point. So I have not really thought about at the beginning what I'd like to achieve, but to have such a talk and show it in front of an audience, and included the things what I had in my mind. So that's, I realized it. That's really the great thing. Yeah.
So what does that then lead to? What does the future hold for André Rossbach as the person who brings people together?
So I have some talks, or a next talk in my company, our symposium at Exida, I think in 2 months. So there I will have another talk where I use parts of my signature talk. Then I also use it, parts of this in my trainings. So I do AI safety trainings for companies, and also in my company. And of course, I use this. So I will not use that much slides anymore. So more showing myself and use good examples. But I only also use it in my daily work. So when I talk with customers, of course, very often just by webcam. But also there a lot changed now.
Yeah.
And maybe I will find a way to give a keynote. Would be interesting, of course, and really stay in this area.
Yeah,
would be great. Yeah.
Well, I think in the tech industry, I think they would be craving for hearing the aspects that you're bringing into their field. So maybe in a conference near you guys somewhere down the planet, and if you know that, and Andre is available for coming there to giving a really good talk about bringing safety and AI together. The question I have, or not a question, but it's funny then, because now I guess you can bring back some of the darlings that you had to take away, right? So when you're doing your workshops and trainings, that you can bring back the things that you had to forcefully, I can see how we became the bad guys here, Lucas. You really like forcefully took away from you, but that's fascinating that you can bring back that to the table. I like that very much.
Yeah. And I think all the sources I have, and I know what I can use. And as I said, the challenging part was the reduction, and then I have additional material now, and I can extend it. But I think that the challenge is more than in this way, that you really keep the dopamine, not make it not too boring. Yeah.
Oh, it's not boring. Never boring,
No.
Andre. There's not a dull moment when I listen to you. The Lucas, you had
Yeah, well, I'm
was it?
curious. You've done this talk. You are going out and doing for hopefully a keynote, but you're also doing presentations in your client work, right?
Yeah.
Yes. When you're looking around at other people in your industry doing presentations, now that you know what you know, what are you seeing that others are doing? And what if you could flip a switch and make them change something? What would be the tip? What would be the thing to make presentations in your industry better?
The main thing is to not only focus on the presentation, so on the slides. I think that's the lesson that I learned. Absolutely. I think completely different now. Also in my PowerPoint presentations, I used very often now a camera image to show it in the slide completely, my picture, and then switch to real slides. So as we did in Presenter Mastery and also in the SPEAKERx. So the presentation that I am the presentation, and show myself, use my hands, tell stories, and I think that's the important part. Don't just focus on slides.
You find that often people are just reading off the slides and just like, I am just reading what's written.
Yep.
So the presentation actually, like the PowerPoint, is just what they present, basically.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, we want a world with more Andres. Please.
Yes.
But it's
I
not
think-
easy. Also in my company, so this type of presentation is very common. So, and what I see every day, and to show people what is the other way to do it, it will be also a challenge for me. But if I can give them a little bit of guidance to do this in another way, this is really great thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you feel that others in your industry don't value presentations in that way?
It depends somehow. I think it's uncommon, and we need good examples. And then I think I did this last year in a training. I changed my complete slide deck with colors and so on, and also the type of information and the amount of information. I reduced them, and this was a challenge. After this training, I got feedback from 3 people. Oh, you have changed this, and it's so different. And I think that's important, that people remember the content and also then you, and that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I would
Different is
imagine
good.
if you're out and talking about safety for AI or AI for safety engineers, and you're trying to bridge that gap, remembering what you're talking about and actually taking action on it becomes quite important.
Yes.
So that leads that it's now time for 10 Tough Thoughts with myself, Alex, the host, and the co-host with me today, Lucas, in this podcast. So what's going to happen now, Andre, is we're going to do 10 rapid questions or more statements. You're just going to pick the one that you like the most because we want to get to know you. All right, so now it's time for 10 tough ones. Are you ready, Andre?
Yes.
Very good. Fast food or fine dining?
Fast food.
Water or wine?
Water.
Swimming or walking?
Both, but mostly walking.
Okay. Stay at home or travel?
Travel is nice.
Yeah. Car or motorcycle?
Car.
Off-grid or city?
City.
Red or blue?
Oh, blue.
Oh, really?
I
That's
have a
nice.
red green blindness, so
Okay, that makes sense. Online or face-to-face?
online.
All right, okay, good. Bed or sofa?
Sofa.
Final question, summer or winter?
Summer.
This has been 10 Tough Thoughts with Alexander, your host, and your co-host, Lucas, over there within this podcast. That's amazing. So now we got to know. Did you? That was so really. That's nice. So some fascinating answers to those questions. Thank you for giving your insights there, Lucas. Where are we currently then? Now, moving on.
We have come to the end.
We've come
Thank
to
you,
the end.
Alex,
Yeah.
for throwing out the question. We need to have a discussion about these questions because they sound a lot like I think I could answer all these questions based on what I think you would answer, and then you could make it back on what you think I would answer. That would be interesting. Let's have a discussion on
that. Would be fascinating, but that's not why we're here.
It is not. Andre, it's been a pleasure having you on podcast. Super excited to listen again to you. And just before we end off, where can people who are interested in your topic, in your talk, your business, where can they find you?
Yeah, of course, on LinkedIn. So André Rossbach.
It's amazing. Thank you.
That's
We will
great.
put the links
Thank
in
you.
the description.
Yes.
And if you're interested in finding more about Andre, booking him for a keynote, understanding more about his services, go to the links, connect with Andre, the greatest guy on planet Earth. Thank you, Andre, for coming to the show. Super pleasurable as always. Thank you.
Thank you for
Arrivederci.
Then thank you.
You're more than
Nice
welcome.
day.
It was great having you.
Thank you.
Arrivederci. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.